So we have a number of warnings out across particularly England and Wales at the moment. We have an amber extreme heat warning for today and tomorrow, so Monday and Tuesday. Then another larger one across the bulk of England and Wales, valid for Wednesday and Thursday. But importantly, we have this rare red extreme heat warning for parts of southern England into the Midlands and across parts of South Wales. Temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday could peak around 38, 39 Celsius, possibly even higher than that. But it's not just those daytime maximum temperatures that we're concerned about. Overnight temperatures are going to stay very high because of the high humidity that we have with this. We're drawing comparisons with what happened in 2022 for that historical event where we first ever exceeded 40 Celsius, the only time so far that we've exceeded 40 Celsius anywhere in the UK. One big difference between this and that event is that the humidity is much, much higher. As a result, it's going to be so much more uncomfortable just for daily strenuous activities and also for sleeping by night.
What are the kind of temperatures we're looking at there?
Let's have a look at the temperatures that we can expect for the next few days. And if I hopefully get this working properly, let's look ahead to, let's do Tuesday first of all, because that's when we have our extreme heat warning. And we start to see some of the more extreme heat, but yet low to mid 30s looks quite likely on Tuesday. Possibly 37, maybe 38 Celsius, not out of the question if I try and find somewhere. I can't find somewhere just quite that hot, but nonetheless, mid to possibly high 30s looks likely on Tuesday. Remember, the current June record is 35.6.
So that could get broken on Tuesday.
Could get broken
on Tuesday. And it almost certainly will get broken on Wednesday.
Wednesday's looking even hotter, particularly across parts of the south and also towards, the Bristol area. That's where we're looking at highs of 37, 38, maybe even 39 Celsius. Just whilst we're at it further north, worth highlighting, it's much fresher, much more comfortable here. But even here, we are going to see temperatures rising through the next few days. Then Thursday, that's for many, perhaps the peak of the heat. A greater chance of getting those 38s, 39s, so mid to high 30s. And like I say, a little bit hotter than that, not out of the question. And by Thursday, low to mid, possibly high 20s or even low 30s possible further north over parts of Scotland as well. So really high daytime temperatures.
Yeah, so the June record's going to go.
The June record of 35.6, almost certainly going to go. High likelihood for tomorrow.
The Welsh record is going to go.
The Welsh record.
And there is even a chance for other records to go as well for Northern Ireland as well, also for June.
Not out of the question, but not just the daytime high records, but also the overnight minimum records. They could also, or they are also likely to be beaten. They're only in the low 20s for June, mid to high, I think it's 26 point something for all-time overnight minimum temperature record.
Humid, why?
Well, so at the moment, we have high pressure around. And high pressure, as you're no doubt aware, means generally settled conditions. Yeah, sinking, so it allows for a lot of sunshine. If I get rid of MS. At the same time, so there's high pressure here. At the same time, we've had some exceptionally hot, historically hot weather across parts of the near continent, over parts of Spain, France. We've seen temperatures in the high 30s, low 40s. And as we go through the next couple of days, if I just run this through, you can see this high pressure lingering, just drifting, but ever so slightly changes its position. If I put the wind direction on, you can see as we go through, particularly Wednesday into Thursday, we get slightly more of a southerly breeze, and that allows for some of that hotter air to be dragged up from the south. And so whilst on Wednesday it looks like the hottest air will be mainly towards more southern parts of the UK, by Thursday we see the exceptionally hot air pushing further across more northern areas, so across the bulk of the country really we're going to see some very high temperatures, but England and Wales in particular going to see the exceptional heat with temperatures in the high 30s, possibly higher than that.
For full details of the warnings, you want to check out our website or our app, and you can go through the details of both the amber warnings and that red warning that's been issued this morning, Monday morning.
Now, just one more thing, just to draw comparisons again with what happened in 2022. And here's some trajectories looking at where the source of our air is coming from. And this is looking back at what happened at Coningsby on that day where we reached 40.3 Celsius. And what you can see is where the air at slightly different heights in the atmosphere was coming from. So the darker blues indicating where the air that was reaching the surface when we reached that 40 Celsius was coming from, and the yellow is showing where up to around 1,000 meters was coming from. You can see, interestingly, that air slightly higher up was coming from the south, as you may expect, a notoriously warm direction, but the air reaching the surface was actually coming from to the northwest of the UK, coming via Iceland really, but it was the process of the air sinking as it came towards us that led to that air warming up, heating up, which is why the temperatures were so exceptionally high. Just before it reached the UK, it did kind of wrap around over the near continent and then push towards us. If we draw comparisons to what is happening currently, and actually the similar trajectories, but this time looking at this coming Tuesday for London, and you can see they're fairly similar. So around 1,000 meters up, the air is coming from the south, but nearer the surface, the air has come from much higher up, but also towards the northwest of the UK, then wrapped around and then clipped parts of the near continent before coming towards the southeast. However, if we look to what's going to be happening by the time that we get to Thursday, which, as I mentioned, could well be the peak of the heat for many parts of the UK, and whilst the air slightly higher up, 500 to 1,000 meters up, still coming from the south as before, the air closer to the surface is now also coming from the south. It wraps across the UK, being heated up because we have high pressure across us at the moment. There's lots of sunshine around. You know, the solstice was on Sunday, so the day length is so exceptionally long. And then it wraps around and comes across more of the continent, more of parts of France, where we see temperatures in the high 30s, low 40s. And so it's heating up really high just before it comes towards the UK, which is why temperatures are going to rise so high, which is why this is an exceptional hot event. We don't issue red warnings particularly often. We only do it when there's a major cause for concern.